Kris, maybe I'll just ask for a couple of updates. How do you feel about the likelihood of Jake Walman and Trent Frederic playing game?
With all our players, fortunately, everyone's expected to be back sometime during the first round. Hopefully, a lot of them by the first game. Everyone but Ekholm is doing well and be back very soon.
Frederic, obviously, it's got to be frustrating for him, frustrating for the organization. Just he hasn't been able to. Like you're hoping, obviously, to have him play by this point, but just maybe can you thought on just not being able to get him in the lineup just before the playoffs?
Yeah, for many reasons it would be nice for him to get comfortable with the team, play his game, know our systems. For me, using him, what line, who's he going to play with? He's very versatile. What does he fit best? Is he a left winger, center, right wing? He can do all those things. And then being able to play. And we thought we'd have him for a few games at the end of the regular season to play that. And he got into one, but he had a little setback. It would be nice. But anytime we have a player like Trent who can come in, he's going to help whenever he does come in to our lineup and make our team better.
I think everyone who's ever had an ankle injury, like we've all sprained our ankles here, knows that they can be tedious sometimes. They can feel real good, ready to go. But when he is ready to go, is it you're gonna have to be like 100% ready to go, or is there might be an issue there where you can only play 3 or 4 shifts a game and then something happens to it?
Yeah, there's the unknown. I think Trent's a very blue-collar, hard-working guy who would play through a lot. So if it isn't 100%, I think he can still play through it. But you never know what happens after shift 3 or 4. Does he fall into the boards? Does he crash? I don't know. Whatever happens, they can always have a setback that he can't play any more than that. But right now we're confident that he's doing well and he'll be coming in at some point in the playoffs, and whether that's game 1 or 2 or whatever it is later on.
Kris, has Vanderhagen been medically cleared yet?
He is very close, not officially cleared, but there's another player that we feel it's very close for game 1.
Very close.
Yes.
Yeah. So obviously, no idea yet. Is there a little bit of flux with the forward groups, forward ranks rather, and just how you're going to kind of
absolutely there is not knowing exactly who you have coming back. We talked about those two. And then just with everyone coming back, like Leon hasn't played for a few weeks. Connor just returned, and Zach Hyman hasn't played. So to have, we definitely have uncertainty with our lines and who's going to be playing. You have guys that you think have play up in our lineup, play a lot of more minutes, but if they haven't played as well, are they going to pick up where they left off? There would be a lot of evaluating right at the start of the game, and a lot of just seeing who's ready to go, who's going to contribute, because we're going to need them right away.
One line you seemed we did have a little bit of certainty with was McDavid, with Brown, and Jeff Skinner, and that line was a little bit different yesterday. Maybe that goes back to it, but what was the rationale behind trying something new yesterday and potentially, obviously, for game 1 as well?
They played a little bit together. I think any line with centered by 97 has success. So I think we have to be aware of probably the best matchup. They've got last change, and that's something we definitely have to be considerate of. And maybe we expose in another area. But I think a lot of it has to do with, finding what lines work best is one, who plays well together, but also thinking about who they're most likely going to be playing against.
You can't, it's hard to back into a playoff series. It's hard to, you're talking about going in and trying to figure some stuff out early in games and trying to figure out if guys are ready and all that stuff. How do you balance that against, we all know there's not a lot of time for thinking and figuring when a playoff series starts, or the end comes sooner than you want it to come. How do you balance all that off?
I think the important for our team is just to simplify our game and the simplifying messages from the coaches on what we need to do and not overcomplicating things. Ultimately, it's going to come down to us playing hockey, playing a simplified, hard-working game, and trying to capitalize on any mistakes that we force LA into. But I think we've got a lot of good players who haven't played together to build chemistry. But I'm not certain. I think maybe that's a little overrated. I think about last year, and we were really wanting to have lines settled going into the playoffs after the trade deadline and finding out where certain guys would fit in the best. And we added 2 forwards last year at the deadline. And going into playoffs, we didn't have anything settled, and it was constantly evolving throughout the playoffs on what we needed, who was playing well, and maybe who was nursing injuries and stuff like that. So we're in a very similar situation this year.
With a guy like Jeff Skinner playing his first playoff game in over 1,000 games, regular season games, does that resonate throughout the group? Is the group excited about him? I know he's excited, but how does that?
No matter what player it is, our team takes a lot of credit or a lot of happiness in other players reaching milestones, whether that's Rocker Richard Trophy or McDavid hitting 100 points again or whatever it is, or somebody playing their first playoff game or first NHL game, whatever it is. It's nice to see all the joy that a player's teammates have for them. And, Jeff Skinner's no different. I'm sure there's a lot of excitement, and they feel very happy for him to have that opportunity.
He's had kind of an up and down season, I guess. Is just how would you kind of qualify his season for you? And is he playing the best hockey that you've seen?
I'm not sure. I wouldn't say it was up and down. I think it was down and just continued to rise up. I think he's doing well. I think it's continued to rise up, and throughout playoffs, I hope it continues to rise.
Yeah.
Do you have a Troy Stetcher update? He hasn't been skating the last couple of days.
He skated today and feeling good, and he's not here with us right now, but he's another player that we expect to join us at some time during the series, and probably not game 1.
John Klingberg, can he be a player for you at some point? And also, what's the challenge of trying to work him back in when he's pedal?
John is available to play on game 1. And just because of being on long-term injury reserve, he wasn't available up until now. He's been cleared. He's good, and he is an option for us. We have to decide on how we'd run our D pairs on righties and lefties, and seeing who gives us the best for the group that we need.
Do you think he is? And he is an available player for you?
He is available. He is available. He is available game 1.
What do you think about your defense pairs here? Obviously Ekholm's out of the mix, but just trying to work in the top 4, and there might be some kind of fluctuations here. Do you think? In the top 4?
Yeah, there will be. There's a top 4, and I think probably the wild card would be Kulak. Obviously, we feel he's a top 4 defenseman, and is he going to be naturally on his left side, or are we going to move him on his right side to bump him up and play more 2 pairs, or are we going to spread it out a little bit more, have 3 that we can play more regularly and more flow. I think that's wait and see to see what their lineup is, see how we start, and we haven't committed to who those 6 D are right now.
So down the stretch, the goaltenders, it's to play whoever was kind of giving you the best chance to win. They both played pretty well down the stretch.
We have confidence in both goalies.
Yeah.
You look at Stuart Skinner, the way he played, especially his last 2 after coming back from injury. Calvin Pickard, obviously, we have a lot of confidence in. You look at his record, especially in the second half of the season, being able to win games. So, I believe we'll most likely see both goalies throughout the playoffs. We did last year, and I don't think we're going to sweep every series to the finals. I don't think that's a possibility. So I think there'll be some ups and downs, and whether it's the forwards, the defense, or goaltenders, we are aware that there might be changes.
You ready to